Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm out here by myself today. Anne was feeling pretty tired this morning and she decided that she wanted to just stay home and relax this weekend. But next weekend she's got her girls' night planned, so I'm going to have a night by myself. So I was planning on coming out here for another solo camp. Problem is, on the last solo camp I burnt most of my firewood. So I figured I'd come out this afternoon just for a few hours. I might light a small fire and make some lunch and cut a bunch of firewood. So let me get my pack down and we'll go about our little afternoon of wood cutting. You probably all remember my collapsible shovel. Our first job is going to be get some of the snow out of this little fire pit. And I'm going to clear some of the snow away from around the sawhorse, just so that when I'm cutting, the wood doesn't fall directly into the deep snow. I'm going to dig around and see what kind of wood I got left. I know there's not much. I'm going to get the fire going, let that burn down to coals so that I can warm up my lunch later. And then we'll go get a little bit of wood. So last weekend I lit an upside down fire, but I never did show you how I prepped it. Bigger logs on the bottom. Now, I don't have a ton of firewood, so I'm going to use what I have. And you just keep crossing them. Now I'm going to slide a piece of birch bark here. Break this up as thin as I can. we go. There's a lot of snow on the trees, so a lot of this birch bark is a little damp, a little harder to light. Now with all those little twigs burning on top, that'll heat up the logs beneath and they'll slowly burn its way down. That way by the time it gets to the bottom there should be enough snow melted in a little area there that I got a good bed of coals that won't go out. And that's the beauty of the upside down fire. There's a couple of dead trees out here that I've been eyeing pretty much since we started coming here, knowing I was going to cut them down for winter wood. This is dead, but it's still very solid. So I'm hoping that it'll burn beautifully. Dead birch here, just a short piece of it. All right. Now let's go check on that fire, and then we'll pull some of these logs out of here and start cutting. fire's slowly burning its way down. But I don't think I'll be adding any wood to it. And I'll let that burn down. Use some of it to cook my lunch. And then I'll let it burn out so that I can stock up my wood pile. So now I have plenty of wood to cut up, but I'm getting hungry. So let's go see what kind of gourmet lunch I've made up for today. I have my little grill. My handy dandy rock to hold it up in place. And here are my unbelievably delicious gourmet bologna sandwiches. Some mayo, some mustard, 2 slices of bologna, sandwiching a slice of cheese. Heat that up over the fire and lunch is gonna be awesome. Oh, those are starting to look beautiful. Oh, that one's looking beautiful. Oh, the cheese is melting. I'll move this one over here where it's not as hot. It's amazing how you can take a plain old boring bologna sandwich, heat it up over the fire, and it becomes fantastic. Well, I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to start cutting some firewood. So lunch was delicious. Now I brought a small tarp so I can throw my pieces of wood on there and try and keep them out of the snow as much as possible. So that when I put them away and cover them up, they don't get all wet before I come back. It's always handy to be able to measure with the handle of the saw. I'm not going to bore you with every tedious cut, every little piece that I cut, every stroke of the saw. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to cut up a bunch of wood, and I'll bring you back a little later. I haven't cut it all, but I have cut some. If I do nothing but play with the saw all day, my arm's going to go dead. So I take a break, I cut a little bit, I split a little bit, I cut a little bit, I split a little bit. Now, I brought the little sleigh that I bought last week because we were putting all of our firewood under the little table. I don't like that. Whatever is solid, I want to put in a separate area. I've already set up the area, so as I'm splitting, whatever's kind of punky is going to go under the table for the outside fire. Whatever is solid is going in the other pile for the wood stove. The outside fire, if it's a little punky and it doesn't quite burn as well, doesn't matter. I'm not using it for heat. So here's some of that punky stuff. Great for the outside fire. Now, in here, we're fairly well sheltered by all the trees. So I can stock my wood in here. I put a few logs down between these two trees. And when I'm done for the day, I'll throw a tarp over the top. And that'll keep it nice and dry. I've been out here a few hours now, cutting, splitting, and something dawned on me. I watch a lot of videos of other guys doing the same thing I'm doing, and I've come to realize not everybody knows how to use a handsaw. A lot of people think faster is better. And some of the guys I watch, they're fast. And it goes fast, but you're not using all of your blade. Sometimes, if you slow down, concentrate, and make sure you use the whole blade, you're moving a little slower, not expending quite as much energy, but because you're using the whole blade, you're actually going through faster. So with that being said, this is not always better and faster than this. And by going slow, you don't develop that high-speed wobble where your blade's doing this and your saw cut is doing this after. Your cuts are usually fairly straight. Sometimes it's just so much better when you slow down. There's a time for speed, there's a time for slow. Using the entire blade is a good time for slow. And if you slow down, concentrate, and use the entire blade, eventually the speed will come. So this is going to be the last sleigh load for today. Once I'm done loading this up, I'm going to put a tarp over it to cover it, and then I'm going to go and pack up all my stuff and head out of here. Not all days at camp can be about building the camp. After all, having the camp and no firewood to burn in it, not much point of that, is there? I'll try and sneak in a picture of the amount of wood I've got for the outside fire as well. This is all going to be for the wood stove. Alright, well, I'm going to cover this up and head on out. So if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I put out a new video. It's been great having you along. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.